With all our hearts, we pray and ask. God bless Anambra. God bless the shining light that we bring. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only ones to make her better, the only ones to make Anambra shine. With all sweat and blood, every breath of our life.
Good. You mentioned rice as one of the major products of Anambra State. I know, but not sure, so want to confirm from you. Statistics said it was about 80,000 metric tons, and then currently it's about 350,000 metric tons. So a twofold question. One, are these figures correct? And two, with this, how did Anambra achieve that?
Yes, the figures are actually very correct, because we did empirical statistic to arrive at the figures. When we took over in 2014, the rice production annually was 80,000 metric tons, and now presently our statistical empirical evidence shows that we are 350,000 metric tons.
When I took over, the rice production in Anambra was 80,000 metric tons, and today it's about 210 metric tons of rice. And as you're aware, we now have Anambra rice, and that's a very motivating thing for us.
Okay.
And we are aiming by next year to get to 400,000 metric tons. That the 2020 cropping season will get us to 400,000 metric tons. And how did we achieve this? We achieved this because we are fully collaborating with the value chains in FADAMA, in IFAD programs, because while they are doing a lot of rural development. And when we are looking at the program of agriculture, looked at large scale and small scale farmers in rice production. So the large scale farmers are the Kocharis, the Josan rice, and the Stein. Then the small scale, while we are looking at the large scale by partnership with the Anambra State, where Anambra State gives them a land as equity through ANSIPA programming. So the Kocharis are now doing about 2,500 metric tons of rice, and they are looking for another 3,000 in Anako, which the governor has approved that they will get sourced.
We signed an MOU. It was an agro-allied MOU. It was to then take over certain farms in Anambra State and resuscitate some mills. This farm, which you see here, is an old World Bank farm. As you see, there are old infrastructures that were built by the World Bank. But when we then took over this farm, it was more or less a jungle, full of snakes, full of tortoises, and we're able to do a lot of clearance work. So what we are doing is resuscitation work. We have, in this section, we have about 100 outgrowers. This is the Umon-Nyuka side. The other side, we have about 150. So it's about one farmer per hectare. So about 300 farmers.
So with that, we are still, that's where the target of our production still hits the 40,000, the 400,000 we are looking at. The Josan Agro is in Umumbo and Umuchu. They are currently holding a very large ultra-modern mill, but the paddy to supply this 129,000 metric tons a ton mill is not yet there. So they are looking at 5,000 metric tons, 5,000 hectares of land within the Umumba axis to meet up with the paddy production for the mill. Then in the area of the small scale, how we were able to achieve this was the governor, in his wisdom, and I should say also that Governor Obiano is the Nostradamus of our time in Anambra State, because look at what is happening today. Closure of the borders, pressure on rice, the staple food. Yeah. But Anambra State is not going to feel it because we have enough rice to feed Anambra. So we give kudos to His Excellency, the Nostradamus of our time in visionary leadership. So the small scale farmers, input supplies, subsidized rates, has sustained them and kept them going even during the dry season. We supply them with pumps. So Anambra State will never go below the statistical figures that have been quoted. So that's how we are.
Okay.
That's how we'll be.
With all our hearts, we pray and ask. God bless Anambra. God bless the shining light that we bear. We're the only ones to make her brighter, the only